Hey guys, back for another video. I just wanted to show you kind of the latest thing I've been kind of working on. So I was finally able to play Fallout for the first time, Fallout 4, because for some reason Fallout 4 had the most amount of hype any of the Fallouts has gotten, as far as I've heard. So I played it and I really enjoyed it. So I kind of dove a little bit deeper into the game because if I listen to a new band or, I start playing something new or anything, I like to actually know about it. I don't like being those guys, oh yeah, I love this game. Well, do you know anything about, like, I don't know. That's just me. Um, I don't know, I'm the minority in that, so. Yeah, anyways, so I kind of decided to make a few props from it. So originally, what I made was the Fallout 4 Pip-Boy. Because I kind of saw it and I saw that there was an app for it, which I downloaded. And I just thought that that was probably something that a lot of people liked, and turns out it is. So as far as like an actual prop that people would actually like in real life, so I made this. Actually, I didn't make this. I made a really crappy version of a Fallout 4 Pip-Boy because what ended up happening was I made it, and you can kind of see some of the revenants underneath. It was really bad. If I find a picture, I'll show you guys, but it was really bad, and even this one isn't perfect, and it's not completely all the way done. Move this one away, because I still need to get this thing on there. I need to paint it first, of course, but there's also a knob down here and a knob right here, and also this knob I think I'm gonna replace because that was a really crappy attempt, and also this thing I need to find a wire for to go from here back here and paint the caps white. So, and also some more details, little minute details. But other than that, I've pretty much done just about anyone I walk in front of with this on. And I know it's kind of funny that I walk around with one that's not completely done, but I figured, hey, it's Voltec colors, so. um, but yeah, so just about anyone that I walk in front of have been able to realize that this is a Fallout Pip-Boy. Also, that little drawer up top is for my holotape. Atomic Command, I decided to do the little like Game Boy strip thing. Yeah, it doesn't close because the phone holder in here kind of takes up space, but still thought it was kind of cool that I could hold one of those. So I'm going to be making a few of these with different tapes because my friend and I are going to be making a Fallout sketch. And it's not really going to be game specific. It's just going to be Fallout in general. Because I'm going to be wearing this Pip-Boy and he's going to be wearing the other Pip-Boy that I'm about to show you. So because of that, I've started making a few more pops. Originally it was just this, but then, started getting into the game and everything. And then, one of my friends really enjoyed the game. And he's just like, why not make a little short movie? So that's what we're going to do. Might be uploading that at some point soon. But yeah. So yeah, that goes in there. It comes out relatively easy. You just kind of pull out it a little ways and you just pull out. So really easy to make. What I used for the actual like arm, and also the thing about the arm is the arm part isn't as accurate as it could be. Like out of everything else, I know the entire thing isn't very accurate, but this is the least accurate. So you make it however you want because this one, again, I made this very quickly because I wanted to make it real quick. But I did use a Pringles can. You can kind of see some of the color there and some of the dude. I used a Pringles can to make it, and to do the layering, if you really want to do it the way that I did, I just take the other piece and wrap it around it. And then because how our shapes of our arms, just doing the whole layer thing didn't do a lot of justice for me, so I did a little extra piece of foam. And the reason why it's cut down in the center is because this little thing pops off like that. And then this thing flips open so it can fit my phone. Obviously, I can't show you right now, sadly enough, because I don't actually have a camera that would work, or a computer to upload on. So I have to use everything mobile. So I apologize for that. Whenever I get a laptop, I'll be able to do that. But yeah, so that's the whole purpose as to why this Velcros and everything is really cool. You can actually put your phone in because, with the other one that I carry around now, the Fallout 3 Pip-Boy, a lot of people ask, oh, can you put your phone in? And I'll say no, and oh, we should make it to where it fits your phone. Oh yeah, my other one does. Oh, you have another one. Yeah. um, I usually try not to, like, brag about it or anything, but, whenever a question pops up, it's kind of annoying, so. But yeah, so after this is going to be painted, it's pretty much going to be it. And it's not, again, it's not very accurate. Um, but I think it's close enough, again, to the point to where somebody would actually recognize it. And also, to note, I got new material, I got access to new material, and this magical thing called foam, craft foam. I always knew about it, it's just I haven't been able to just go and grab it. Oh, and another thing to note real quick, before I go too much into that, is that originally this was just slapped right onto the band. And you don't want to do that if you want to make this. Reason being is that everything won't slope properly. The computer piece, like this, is slightly up above the armband, as you can see. So basically what you want to do, excuse me, sorry, is if you pronounce this more like it was in the game, you would have a piece of cardboard. On the top, it would be a straight edge, but on the bottom, it would kind of look like a staircase. And then, on the top, right here, you can't see it very well, but another piece of cardboard that just kind of juts out. So right now, you have a piece of cardboard coming up, and this way. And then I made a little bit of a case. Now, I have like a LG sunrise thing, so I couldn't really exactly find a cheap, small case. Now, for the majority, or just about everyone that's probably watching this video right now, is probably watching it on something that you can probably fit a little bit easier into this thing. So, I recommend that you actually get a phone case, something that you can very, very, very simply pop into, something that's not terribly bulky either, because, yes, the Follow Pip-Boy is a little bit bulky, but the Follow 4 one is a little bit, smaller and a little bit rounder than the Follow 3 one, even though the Follow 3 one is a little bit flatter, but whatever. Point being is you don't want that piece to be bulky. You want everything else around it to be bulky. So, here's something very small. I had to make mine. If you need to make yours, it's not that hard. You just kind of lay your phone down on a piece of cardboard, and then you kind of just build walls around it, make it sturdy and everything, if that's what you absolutely need to do. Otherwise, if you have an iPhone or something, you can probably walk a few miles down, or not even a few miles, probably, but you know what I mean. Grab a phone case that's only a few bucks, slap it in here, and attach it to the top of this cardboard ridge, going down. Make sure it's touching this. So then, you can't really see it, but it's glued. So right now there's a rectangle right here that's glued onto this, which is also going to the top of this. Okay, and then the screen. How I made the screen. So after you have the phone case, and you make a general faceplate of the general shape of the Follow 4 one. Now, excuse me, I recommend that you find your own pictures, mainly because I want to promote creativity in this, and also because of the fact that mine's just not perfect. And you're going to find that a lot with my stuff, so if you're looking for complete perfection, which you should be, yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. Yeah, if you want to go with perfection, then there's going to be almost no creativity with it, because most people, whenever they want perfection, they go to 3D printing and all that stuff, and I highly don't agree with it. So, but yeah, anyways, going back to the screen, so you just make a faceplate out of cardboard, and, this is gonna look way prettier afterwards. The drawer I could have made a little bit nicer, but this is gonna look prettier if you get craft foam, because then it won't look like cardboard afterwards. You'll see what I mean in a sec. So, you just make the general outline of the faceplate, and then there's another layer up. There's actually 3 layers, but the third layer is kind of almost not there, and in my eyes, it wasn't that important to where I had to shift everything. So, I just made two layers. I just made the first cardboard layer and then the smaller second layer I built up with foam. And then I, of course, added the little rad meter thing here. And then the actual screen thing. It's a little bit weird in Follow 4 compared to the Follow 3 one because it has a little bit of a flare outwards. And it's also very, very round. So what I had to do is I really for a second. Yeah. So the way that I had to flare it is originally I wanted to just use one piece of foam to go all the way around. Hold on a second. Let me hold this up. Okay. But because it's flared out, I couldn't quite do that. So I just used different pieces of foam and kind of curved it in like this and then pulled them out a little bit. So the edges, what I did is, let's do this. I just cut a general shape like that. It kind of looks like a slide from like a 9mm pistol. And I cut this out twice. And how I made it actually like rigid and a little bit thicker is that you just fold the foam over basically. You just fold it over itself a good amount, probably about a centimeter, and then you can cut it from there. But it gives it some nice stability and still gives it the nice look that the foam has compared to cardboard. Because cardboard edges are very, very ugly for these things. So that's what I did. And then right here, I could have made it a little bit nicer, but it works. Just made triangles that kind of slowed down to the surface there. Then up here, for that like slope that comes in and then it goes up for a little bit with a bump, which is on just about every Pip-Boy. So I just made two pieces, evenly cut, very, very short, and then out of the same strip, just kind of put it above it a little bit. And it's not perfect, but it's really, really, really close. Again, if you have a vague a vague remembrance of what it looks like, then it shouldn't be that big of a problem. Obviously, if you put it next to a picture, it's going to be a little bit different, and it will also vary upon the size of your phone. If your phone is a little bit shorter and wider, it's the best, but not all phones are like that, so I'll go with the shape of your phone, but still make it look nice. Because if you have if you have the Pip-Boy app, it won't, and that's like the sole reason as to why you're going to use it. Then you can make it a little bit more closely like the actual one, because I think we all know this. You can change the screen size. But for me, I was able to fit my whole phone in there, so it didn't really matter. So yeah, so that's the screen, and then this little buckle piece I want. And if you do want this to open up and buckle, so then it fits a few different arms, you can go the way that I'm doing it. If you don't, like my Fallout 3 one, which I'm gonna make a separate video for because I'm kind of running out of time here. Then you just have the Pringles. You can do the arm thing however you want again. With this piece, I used cardboard originally, but since it looks so bad, I put foam over it. But basically, I just kind of cut out the general shape of it, and you have it slope down to this, and then you have a little bracket. Now, if you wanted to make it like me, I used a little bit of magnetic tape because it has some sturdiness, and then I made this cut. And then I used some Velcro right here. Speaking of which, one second, I have my hot glue gun heating up because the Velcro is coming off a little bit, so I'll be right back. But yeah, also with the faceplate, you don't want to just glue it onto the case, of course. Hopefully, I'm not doing it step by step. How I made the hinge was some very, very, very. You can't even see it right now. Very, very thin cardstock. I just put it on both edges, on the edge of this and on the edge of the actual case over there. So then it just hinges freely. So, and the other big deal about doing that is, since the whole entire faceplate comes up, it's kind of hard to make it to where everything blends down. So what I did to make it to where you can't see the insides is I basically just cut out the foam to the shape and everything with the outline, glued it to the actual phone case instead of the faceplate, and I cut it out from there. Same thing to go right here, except for the fact that it is part of the faceplate, and I just added an extra little piece of Velcro that comes out super easily. You can do however you want. I prefer you didn't do this one the way that I did, but it's up to you. Same thing over here. I want underneath and kind of just fold it over. I hope that's self-explanatory. And then the knob. Don't follow my stupid example here. I'm gonna change this because it looks so stupid. So I mean, you can literally use anything for that knob, anything that's circular, and then like this selector thing that he has whenever he's holding it and it goes open up a can of anything really. All I did was took some foam and I rolled it up and then glued it to the top of this thing. That's really all I did. I then capped it, and then I really hate this thing back here because of the fact that, as far as I've seen, you only use this thing once, and that's to get out of Vault 111. But since it's on there, I have to kind of put it on there, so basically all I use, you can use anything again. You could even use a thing of chapstick. I use a little half-inch PVC captive, and I'm going to use some black wire to run from here into the back of this thingy. And then obviously I'm going to paint the caps white. And then if you want a drawer like mine, now if you have space, if you have a big enough space, because, and none of this stuff is to actual dimensions, I don't have time to do that, and the money and everything. I just kind of generally drew it out, so I think we can all get a nice consensus of how thick and how big a holotape is. I forgot that I just need that. 1 second. I don't know, maybe about 1.5 inches. I'm pretty sure you guys, most of you are probably more stingy than me, and you can probably even look up the actual dimensions. But we can all get a general consensus of this. Probably about the same size of a Game Boy Advance, just a little bit taller. Put it on the back of here, and see if one, it will even be able to fit on the back, and it should. And also see if you have enough room in between. So, like for me, the box that holds my phone is about that thick, so obviously I don't have enough room. But if it was this small, then I would have had enough room to actually be able to close it. If you have enough room between the space of your phone case and with the iPhone 6 and all those flat junk, you could probably do it. But mine's relatively thick. I mean, that's a very thick phone compared to everything else. Then you would be able to hinge it, and you can really hinge it the same exact way that you hinged this thing, except you would just have it flush. But if you can't, I'm pretty sure people could forgive you. I mean, I haven't really had any problems, but it's up to you. Just make the drawer this basic shape, and then you just make a box that will fit your holotape the way that you make it. I used just yellow foam, about 4 layers did it for me. Obviously it's not strictly yellow, but I like the yellow because then this way it actually kind of looks like a holotape before it's painted. So, but yeah, I use the yellow. You can obviously use whatever color and paint it. And then if there's a specific game or holotape that you want, you can even do the whole labeling thing. Originally they're down here, but I didn't really care. And then you just kind of slide it in. Yeah. And again, if you can make it to where it closes, great. Also, take into account the circle on the bottom here. I personally, just as a kind of a little bit of a story, use this as a bit of a gimmick, because the app has this in it, and some people don't really use the app. I don't know. No, I make it funny whenever. Oh yeah, it actually works, and I put this in there, and then I show them that it worked. But yeah, so that's how I made my Fallout 4 Pip-Boy. I'm gonna make another one on how I made the Fallout 3 one here soon. I know this is a very, very long video, and I basically didn't actually actively show you anything. And I apologize for that. It's just, I run my mouth a lot, and I try and get as specific as possible with these things, and then try and give you some backstory, so then, you don't wonder, oh, well, why did you make it this way? And then people get mad, and then they say, oh, well, technically it's like this. Most of the time I get it. I know what I'm making. I look at a lot of pictures. It's just most of the time the story is always going to be I didn't have enough money, or I didn't have the right materials, or both. So yeah, I apologize, this is a long video. Just if you have any questions, or if you want it to be shorter and you don't care about me explaining as to why I made it a certain way, then tell me. I will stop so that I can shorten the videos a little bit. But yeah, just a little bit over 20 here soon. So see you guys later.